Good late afternoon, Facebook followers. My name's Tom Lowy, and I'm a reporter and columnist with the Galesburg Mail. And I'm here with Mariangela Maguire, and you're the vice president of the Knox Prairie Community Kitchen. So tell us what we're doing in the basement of Congregational Church this evening.
We are getting ready for our Thanksgiving dinner. It should be fantastic. The volunteers are already here, and they're putting pumpkin pie out on the table for everyone. We think we'll have about 200 people, although Tom thinks that we're going to have over 200.
I do.
So, but we're ready for that. We try to cook for as many people as possible, but 200 is about right. And so we're going to have traditional Thanksgiving feast tonight: turkey and gravy and pumpkin pie and cranberry salad dressing, cranberry salad and stuffing. What else is? Oh, green bean salad or green bean casserole. And I made the vegetarian option. It's a mushroom rice casserole. And
that sounds fantastic.
We even have mushroom gravy, vegetarian mushroom gravy for the mashed potatoes. So that's what we're doing tonight.
I'm a big fan of the mushroom gravy. I am.
Yes.
Indeed. So Knox Prairie Kitchen has been going strong, and I don't think one of the reasons why I wanted to come down here is obviously Thanksgiving is one of your headline events.
It's a big event, yes.
But you guys have been going strong, and the Register Mail covered you guys at your inception. Knox Prairie Community Kitchen started 6 years ago.
That's right. Isn't it amazing that we are still going strong? It started because there was a long winter break, and some people got together and said, we're worried about the kids in the community who get free lunches. What are they going to do during this long winter break? So they started the lunch spot. That evolved into community potlucks. The health department said, potlucks, well...
And rightfully so.
Yeah, rightfully so, exactly.
Right.
And then they moved here to Central Congregational Church, and it's been a great partnership. And every second and fourth Thursday, we serve dinner.
And what I want to point out, you serve dinner twice a month, except in the months of November and December.
That's right.
When you kind of do holiday blowouts.
Holiday blowouts, that's right.
Tonight, you're partnered with the
Salvation Army.
Right.
We're so excited about this. This is really, at least in the most recent time that I've been affiliated with the kitchen, that we've had this kind of partnership. They came to us, they have new, really vibrant, excited leadership, and they said, can we partner with you on your dinner? So they have done, and they've actually they've paid for most of the meal. We have some resources at it too, but they've really spent most of the money to pay for the meal. They were here with us yesterday cooking. They'll be here with us serving tonight, along with several other volunteer organizations. Do you mind if I mention those?
Absolutely.
So
please.
we have Full Gospel Church. Full Gospel Church has become they're a mainstay for us in terms of volunteers. They're here about once a month, and we are so grateful because we often have a lot of new volunteers. So to have folks like the Full Gospel people here means we have experienced volunteers helping the newbies, which is great. We also have students from Sandberg's Trio program, which is wonderful. We have people from a group called Heart Seekers, and I don't know. You never know who else is going to show up. Yeah,
right. It has drawn the support of other volunteer agencies.
Oh, yes. We, Knox Prairie Community Kitchen is an all-volunteer organization. Everyone who works with the organization is a volunteer. And we are entirely funded by people in this community who give us money. It's often churches, civic organizations, school groups, individuals, of course, and we have a great partnership also with the Galesburg Community Foundation. They helped us raise money so that we have an endowment fund, and that means that we have a lot of kind of financial stability towards the future. It was an act of sustainability to create an endowment fund, and we're very grateful for their partnership.
You folks start at 5 p.m. tonight, am I correct on that?
The doors open at 5.
Okay.
People come in, we do announcements about 5:15, and then we start, it's called releasing the tables, which is one of my jobs, and I go around and I let each table go up. They go up to the window, get their meal, and then come back. And then volunteers help those folks who need assistance to get their meals.
A lot of people are going to say, well, this doesn't really address hunger, and that's not really what Knox Prairie Community Kitchen's about. Talk a little bit about community building.
You know, our mission is really twofold. It's to address food insecurity, but it's also to build community. And we're not fooling ourselves. We know that we're not stemming all of food insecurity in Galesburg by serving 2 free dinners a month. But we do also have a food giveaway, so we know that we're giving people probably more than 2 meals, but that's still a drop in the bucket compared to the need in this and the larger community. Our other goal is just as important, and that's to build community. So when you have volunteers from all walks of life in Galesburg, and you have dinner guests from all walks of life, and a lot of the people who are our core volunteers first came here to have dinner, and now they're core volunteers. But also what I said to you you earlier is, and as a fairly new person in the Galesburg community, what struck me at the times that I've been down here, which is a lot, is people, the volunteers are here, the diners are here, and I see people talking to each other, and it's, oh, our kids go to the same school, or we go to the same church, or we live on the same block. So it is a way for people to see, and to the extent that there are people at our dinners who are struggling, who, whether for whatever reason, sometimes people in our communities who struggle are often looked past. Literally, people walk past them on the street and don't make eye contact. And so one of the things that's really powerful to me and important to me about these dinners is that everyone who is here is seen. We look everybody in the eye and say, hi, thanks for being here. We're glad you're here. They walk out the door and they say thank you, and we say thank you for being here, because it's their presence here that makes this a community.
I think there's another way to look at community that's accessible to maybe, we don't feel the need for community necessarily, and with technology and everything else.
Right.
But for some people, community is also another kind of word for networking, isn't it?
Absolutely. Oh, I see.
So it's a way for people to meet and interact, and you never know what's going to grow out of that.
You never do, right? And we see that all of the time too. We often have folks from Knox College here because Knox College was so important in the development of the organization. So we often have volunteers from the college, and so sometimes it's the volunteers themselves networking, professors and students, but it's people across the community who have something in common. It's when there are 2 or 3 administrators from Knox and Carl Sandburg, and they start talking, or somebody from the local school district, and people have ideas get played with and moved on, and connections are made, and that's really powerful.
During the interview, I kind of put you on the spot, and I said we all have 2 reasons for why we do things. We kind of have a public reason, and then we have a more personal reason. And it's not that we're hiding it, but we express ourselves in public ways, but then there's underlying kind of maybe more private things. And so I'm going to put you on the spot live here on Facebook. And just to update people, we are at the Knox Prairie Community Kitchen, and I'm talking with Mariangela Maguire. You're the vice president. And so tell first our Facebook viewers kind of your public reason for doing this and why you got involved.
Well, I suppose 2 public reasons. I used to live in Indianapolis, and I contributed to a food pantry that was down the street from my house. And after a few weeks, I realized on Saturday mornings I was watching people walk past my front door who were my neighbors, who were going to the food pantry. And when I had donated to the pantry, I didn't ever think about who the recipients were. And when I realized these are my neighbors, these are people in my realm of influence and connection, that was powerful to me, and it reminded me, it was kind of a wake-up call about food insecurity is everywhere. Then I moved to Galesburg, and I learned about KPCK, and somebody that I admired greatly, somebody I had a great deal of respect for, a professor at Knox College named Daniel Beers, was part of the organization, and his integrity motivated me to learn more about the organization and the philosophy of the organization, that we are not just people of means helping people who don't have means, but we are community building. We are all in this together.
This isn't a charity.
Philosophy.
This is a community outreach.
That's right.
This is community builder.
That's right. Yeah. That is the goal, and that's what we're working on every 2 weeks and in between. And then my personal reason...
Private, that private thing.
Yeah, the private thing. So I'm the youngest of 6 children. My mother was a single parent for most of my life from the time I was 5 on. We were lucky she had a job, but it wasn't a job that paid a lot, and she struggled every day to put food on the table.
She got rich.
So I know what that's like, and it's hard. And it's hard on people's sense of self. Your sense of self can be very diminished when I didn't realize necessarily how deep the problem was or how deep her pain was until I was much older, but it was there, and it changed her.
Right.
And that makes me sad. And so, I know from my experience that food is a way to connect with people, so I know it's important. So.
And when we say community, the struggle to put food on the table, some of these struggles can be very isolating, right?
Yes.
Because people don't want necessarily help.
It's the
or
challenge
like
of the food pantry.
Right.
Sometimes food pantries have restrictions about geography, but that they know that that's a problem because you don't necessarily want to go to the food pantry in your neighborhood.
Right.
And that's they've changed their ideas about things in order to address that isolation because there's a taboo.
We're going to add this line, and it'll be in the top comments. But for people who would like to help on a continuing basis, maybe they can't get here twice a month or whatever.
Oh, no.
How else can people help your organization?
Please go to our website, first of all.
And that is?
KPCK. I think it's knoxprairiekitchen.org. But honestly, if you just Google KPCK, you'll get the Korean Presbyterian Church, and then you'll get Knox Prairie Community Kitchen. So we're usually the second
Little
one.
convoluted there.
No, but just Google KPCK and you'll find us. And when you go to our website, you'll find ways that you can donate to us, and you can also then come to our Sign Up Genius site. And at the Sign Up Genius site, you can find out when we need help at our meals. We haven't put out our 2018 calendar yet, but we will soon.
Okay. And I've got some questions coming in. I want to repeat again. I'm at the Knox Prairie Community Kitchen.
Yep.
And I'm with Mariangela Maguire, and she's the vice president, and she's kind of heading up the efforts. Tonight is Thanksgiving dinner at Central Congregational Church. And if you don't know where that is, it's just off the square. And you open your doors at 5.
At 5.
And people can kind of expect things to get rolling around 5:30.
Yes.
Around then.
And I think if you've never been before and you're going to get in your car or walk down here to dinner, first of all, great. We'd love to see you. On a night like tonight, you might wait a little bit before you get seated.
Sure.
But yeah, we'd love to see you.
But there's the promise of good conversation and meeting new people and all that stuff.
And the other thing I want to mention, because I just saw him walk in the door, is that tonight we are partnering with the Salvation Army, and we are so grateful for their support.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Hi, Lisa. Hi. We're on Facebook saying thank you to the Salvation Army for helping us with tonight's dinner.
And to
it's our privilege to join forces. Why duplicate when we can all join forces
together?
Work together.
Yeah.
Right.
So Lisa is part of the new vibrant leadership of Salvation Army in Galesburg.
I agree. Yeah. And they're always very open to cameras and tape recorders and all kinds of stuff. Well, thank you very much for your time, and I hope you folks have a hearty crowd and good support going into your 7th year.
That's right. Thank you so much, Tom.